Okay, so here we are, turn 33. Just finished Allied movement and did a few overruns in this area here, but was largely ineffective. Pretty much just traded a few steps here and there. But this puts me in a bit of a dilemma. Over here, just in the corner, you'll see that I do not have a lot of supply left that is not on an organic truck. I have 3 tokens to work with after my overruns, for fuel and combat from the movement phase. I have 3 tokens. So what I'm thinking here is that we might need to attack and put ourselves into low ammo just to take advantage of the situation we have here. Now, I don't believe the Germans have much in terms of reactive artillery here, so we should be able to keep these units from being DG'd and then hopefully attack these stacks. That is going to be costly to resupply those units once supply becomes available, but I think this is a huge opportunity to clear out a large stacks of Germans here, and there's some decent units in these stacks. So I think we'll probably go for that come the combat phase. Well, I'll go see if I need any reaction. Nothing really new to show on the rest of the front. Just really holding our positions. Tabessa is kind of been shored up a bit. We'll wait until we get some more reinforcements to maybe push back there, or once we clear this out, we can try and make our way up that way. But for now, this is the situation, so we'll get into combats and see what happens. Alright, so here's the situation after combats. Things went fairly well. Basically, actually we killed both stacks of units, bar one Italian black shirt battalion here. So that is a total of 6 units, 4 of them being artillery regiments, but still units off the board for the Axis. Meanwhile, the Allies managed to not have to put that many units low. This whole stack of 7th Armored is low, but we managed to figure out that we had an organic truck with supply for 51st Infantry Division. So that helped there. There was an organic truck for 1st Armored, so we used that as well. So could have been a lot worse. It's still going to be a little costly to refit those guys there. But we've succeeded in moving up to the second part of the marathon here, and the Germans are just in really rough shape. They're going to have to pull out of this line and come around and hope to build this defense up here somewhat. I think the highest action rating in this line right now is a 2 from these artillery pieces, so not a great defensive position. But at least they're still in the Mareth line, so that's something that they can hope is helpful to them. Alright, that's it for the Allied turn, so we'll move on to the Germans now. Alright, so the German turn is now finished. They managed to pull their forces out of this area here and build a fairly decent line, actually, in the second line of the Mareth line here. Rebuilt some decent action rating units, the Witzig Kampfgruppe, this Oasis battalion, and a March battalion give us some decent action ratings in the area here. So we're feeling okay about this. Not fantastic, but once we can pull these units out for good and kind of maybe build a little depth here, I feel a little more comfortable. It is in the open though, so that's the concern. Decided to leave a garrison here to hold onto this road to kind of slow the Allies advance around, because they need this road, or they need a road through the center. This road to flank us, that would be horrible. So we're going to hold here, and we'll hold here as well, where there's another hedgehog. That's essentially it. I guess I should show off a little bit of the rest of the map here. We can see 10th Panzer coming down this way. They're gonna come in and see if they can't lend a hand here. Stop the flow of British units through our lines. So that will be very effective force down here. In the center, I just kind of restructured again. So just pulled back a slight bit, just defending around the city. Beefed up our defenses along this river line here and as well here. So we're in a position to just hold on to what we've got now. And that is essentially it. I'm going to just leave the north again. It feels weird not doing much up there, but in my mind, neither side really needs to do anything there right now. It's kind of just a wait and see game, and really the supply has gotten so low everywhere that, well, for the Axis at least, they're low everywhere that there can't really be operating on multiple fronts. So, alright, so we should roll for initiative and weather for turn 34 now. Alright. Okay, so we will roll for weather. And that will be clear weather. And now we will roll for the initiative. That will be Axis initiative. They roll boxcars there. So they'll refortify their new lines at the Meath line, and get 10th Panzer down here to join in the frenzy. May even, no, I was going to say maybe attack into the rear lines of kind of through here, cause some issues, but I think we're better off just to play it safe right now. It looks tempting, but just in terms of supply and, well, danger, we'd be cut off most definitely. So, yeah, alright, time to start the German turn. Alright, so the Axis have just finished their turn. We're able to re-establish a decent line, some more depth to it. We now have reserve artillery in the area as well. 10th Panzer is in the area of Gabus and will be going into reserve mode next German turn, just to deal with any possible disasters, I guess is the best way to put it. Looks like a tough line, pretty much of action rating 5 all the way across again here, so and in level 2 hedgehogs, which is, this is even better than when we initially laid out our line, so we're in a strong position here. Still not entirely confident, but definitely much more at ease than we were about half a turn ago. I think that's pretty much all we need to cover. It's just been dead on the rest of the front. This is the real focus right now. The only thing for me is I feel like we could pressure the Allied flank, and with 10th Panzer here, pushing from Tebessa on, but it's just, I don't know, it's a make or break. We either commit to that and this falls apart and then we have no hope of holding on to it if we don't have 10th Panzer here, or we just bank that we can just hold it out here and just push to win the game by cutting the Allies off. So I'm being a little defensive minded, I guess. And the terrain doesn't look fantastic attacking towards the Allied flank either, so that's kind of dissuaded me from doing so. But I think that's somewhere where you could kind of make a judgment call and maybe change a game. It's really awesome that there's a decision like that here. It's not all just guided as to what you need to do. I really love that about OCS. So, alright, time to start the Allies now, and try and get some of these units flipped back over and see if we can't find a hole here. Alright, so the Allies have just finished their turn. They've opted to really not do much of anything. A little boring, but it's got to happen sometimes. They have very little supply, so what I think we're going to do is, hold these positions. We've really taken advantage of the holes we made here. So let's hunker down, hold on to what we've got for now, and then build up some supply. We can only get 3 SP per turn at this entry hex. We could bring in a little bit more at the airfield, but not a ton. So we might wait a few turns and start building this up. If we take a look actually at the order of arrival here, you'll see that we've got a decent force coming in at the end of March here. So March 22nd, we've got a headquarters, 1st Infantry Division, and 4th Infantry Division, plus a few independents. And those will be coming in the north here. So once we get that force, if we can build up supply down here until then, maybe not that long, build up some supply, and then we can strike with that force and strike at the Marathon. So whether we strike back at Tabessa, go for the gap in here, or even push back towards Tunis and Bizerte. Probably won't do that. We'll probably do one of the either through the center or at Tabessa, but it's going to cause a ton of headaches for the Axis, as well as that time will let us build up some supply in the south here. So instead of whittling away at the Axis forces, we need to full on barrage right through them and just go full force. But when we're only on 3 SP per turn, we're not capable. So we create good situations for ourselves and no way to exploit them. Yeah. So might be a slow next few turns, but I think it's the right thing to do. Depending on how things go, we might do a little bit here or there, but we're going to try to conserve as much supply as possible. We'll probably make a play down through these roads here to get us that roadway up and around here. We'll probably push that way. But beyond that, I don't think we're going to be going whole hog. Okay, so we should roll for initiative then for, I believe it's turn 35. We'll roll for the weather first. 64. What is that going to be? So, no flight. Almost a mud turn, but no flight it is. Okay. And now we'll roll for the initiative. And that is an Allied initiative. And I'm not sure who's going to take it. Think that one over. Okay, so that's it for turn 34. We'll be moving on to turn 35. Starting to wind the game down a bit. Well, there's still a couple months to go, but we're really getting up there in terms of turns. So, alright, I hope everybody's still enjoying this. I am. It's a bit of a lull right now, but even with everything going on here, but it still feels like a bit of a lull, just because of how quiet it is in the north, and the center's kind of going to stagnate now too. When it gets this dead, I really feel like I'm doing something wrong. That's what I kind of don't like about playing solo. I feel like there could be more I'm exploiting, but I've become so comfortable with the situation for both sides that I'm not seeing things to exploit probably that you would were you playing face-to-face with someone. So if anybody thinks I'm screwing up royally, please just let me know, and I'll start making some attacks and exploiting any holes you might see. So I'm sure there's plenty of them around. So alright, time to upload this. Here's a quick glance at the dead pile as well. Allied forces here with Brits, Americans, French, and New Zealand and Indians. And then we've got the Axis forces of the Italians, their air force losses, and the Germans here. A lot of losses, a lot of Americans. Pretty bloody so far, so there's those aircraft as well. But that's our losses to this point.